Okay, so your quadratic formula. First, let's talk about the quadratic formula. B comes from here, it's from the x term. A, that's your leading coefficient, it's from the x squared term. And C, that's your constant, that's at the end. Okay, this under here is called your discriminant. And it can tell you how many solutions that you're going to have, real, imaginary, or real complex, or zero. So, or it repeats. Okay, so if I have b squared minus 4ac is a positive number, I'm going to have two real solutions. I can have two rational, or I can have two irrational. Or I can have one of each. And then also under here, if this is greater, or if this is 0, if this comes out to be 0, then I have two of the exact same answers. Then if this is negative, then I'm going to have two complex answers. So I'm going to have I in there. It's going to be imaginary. Okay, so we're going to solve this by using this formula. It says x equals, because that's what I'm doing. I'm solving for x, just like I was before. I'm trying to find my solutions or my x-intercepts. Okay, so first let's say a is, if you're looking in front of the x squared, 1. B is 5. And C is 1. Now I'm just going to plug that into my quadratic formula. So I have a negative 5 plus and minus the square root of 5 squared minus 4 times a times c, and that's all over 2 times a. Okay, so then I'm just going to use my order of operations. So 5 squared is 25, so I have the square root of 25 minus 4 times 1, so minus 4. Oops, I forgot my negative 5 plus and minus. Okay, then I have 2 on the bottom. So that's negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 21 over 2. And you cannot simplify the square root of 21, so you just have negative 5 plus minus the square root of 21 over 2, and you can leave it like that. And that's what x is. And there's two of them because you got one plus and one minus. There's two answers. Okay. On this one, a is 1, b is 1, c is 2. Negative b plus or minus the square root of 1 squared minus 4 times a times c, oops, c is 2, over 2 times 1. Okay, so negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 1 minus 8 over 2. So that's negative 1 plus or minus the square root of negative 7 over 2. So negative 1 plus or minus I square root 7 over 2. Okay, so on this one, A is 9, B is 3, and C is negative 2. You want to make sure it looks like this. If that 2 was over here, any of these were on the other side, you'd have to move them over by doing the opposite operation before you could use your quadratic formula. Okay, so now I'm going to substitute in. So I got the square root, I got negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 3 squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, so I got negative 3 plus or minus 9. Negative 4 times 9 is negative 36. Negative 36 times 2 is positive 72 over 18. Now I got negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 81 over 18. I'm going to go down here. That's negative 3 plus or minus 9 over 18. Okay, so then that's when I break it apart. Negative 3 plus 9 over 18. Negative 3 minus 9 over 18. Okay, so negative 3 plus 9 is 6. I don't know why it lost focus. Negative 3 plus 9 is 6. So I end up with 6 over 18, which is 1/3. And then negative 3 minus 9 is negative 12. So negative 12 over 18 would be negative 2/3.